What's up, good people? I hope you're doing extremely well. And if not, I hope that we can change that in the coming moments. You are now listening to the Free Spur channel, where we discuss matters of health and wealth. And we really just try to bring some conversation to the table that may help in those areas. I know we cover a myriad of topics in that realm or in those realms, but that's our main goal here on this channel, to really help people navigate those things. Speaking of navigation, I want to talk today about how to navigate the changing world. And if you haven't been living under a rock, even if you have been living under a rock or in some remote place in the world, you are not a stranger to what's happening or what has been happening in the world. And our world has changed. It has changed in a lot of different ways. And one of those main ways is in commerce. And I think it really has affected a lot of people in a lot of interesting ways. And it is causing, I think, a lot of adverse perspectives of how to navigate the world now that we have been in this time period of change. And it's not over. It's not over. I think there's still a lot that's going to happen by way of change in the world that we live in. And it's going to be interesting, enriching, beautiful for a lot of reasons, and difficult for a lot of reasons and for a lot of different people. But I want to talk today to and about how to navigate these things, because that is something that can cause a lot of issues if you're not prepared for how to navigate what is coming and what has already happened. And I don't, at risk of sounding too political or conspiracy oriented, I won't kind of get into the nuts and bolts of the controlling mechanisms of all these things. Just understand that a lot of these things that we're experiencing right now aren't by chance, and they aren't accidental. And I really do believe that. I really do believe that we are in a space where things are happening in the world that have to happen, for a lot of different reasons, whether that be financial or just for the better health of and space of a people, for our people that are, conducting their lives every day in whatever places in the world that you are. A lot of these things that are happening, that are in flux, happen for a reason. And really, to get to how we navigate these things, you have to start with yourself and start with your understanding of what's happening, and not just the what's happening to you understanding, but the underlying, what do I want to happen for my life? What am I interested in? What am I compassionate about? And why? Why do I believe in what I believe in? I think we're in a space where we really have to start asking these questions, about ourselves and about what we care about, and really have an open mind for the answers, and really have an open and quieted mind for the answers. We're always asking questions to hopefully better ourselves and hopefully catapult our lives to a place where we are more enriched, more fulfilled, and just living the life's journey that we want to live. But I think a lot of times we don't even know what that journey is for us. Sometimes we as individual people are living our lives in other people's visions. It happens really early too. Like if you are a part of a family unit or a part of a community that has a strategic way of doing things, and you become, a part of that ecosystem, you can live your whole life and not really understand why you are doing what you're doing, or why certain things are happening to you or for you in that environment. And sometimes it really does take being able to get out of those environments and get out of those ecosystems to really understand and grasp your own power and your own understanding of who you are and who you are in the world, and what place people, put you in. And that's a lot of what we don't understand, or what we don't begin to understand until we get out and interact in other places, is that people have a perception of us. People have a perception of you based on what you look like, based on what you sound like. And all of those things can be predetermined by, whatever group that person may subscribe to, or whatever, notion of the world or worldview that person may subscribe to. So I think it's very important, especially now, that we understand those different worldviews and where they come from, and really have a grasp on how do we shape those things and those understandings collectively and individually into something that is malleable for what we are going into. The world has its obstacles. Life has its obstacles, and life has its beauties. And all of those things are wrapped up in this experience that we call life. And we have to be able to really take every moment and look at it through a lens of a possibility of greatness. Look at it through a lens of, in this moment, the next moment that I'm going into, I can be great at this, or, we all can be great at this, or this can be a moment of greatness, a moment of happiness, a moment of whatever we want it to be, in a positive light. And, I know there's not always going to be a positive moment from moment to moment. We have so many adversities in our lives, and we're going through those things right now. In the world is going through a lot of different adversities, but I want us to be clear about our place and how we can navigate those things every day. You have to navigate the world every day, and you can have a bad go at that, or you can have a good go at that, depending on your mindset and what you believe about what's happening in that moment. A prime example, I was talking to my wife a few months ago, and we were talking about the news cycles, how they have evolved. And for instance, during the pandemic, these past couple years, we didn't see a lot of news reporting about violence, about just community violence and things like that. And a lot of the news was really centered around, the world health and, the political structures that were kind of encompassed within that. And, I was like, watch this. We had this conversation. I said, watch how once that dies down, it shifts right back to, the same cycle of fear and pumping fear into our sphere every day. And it was like clockwork. The moment that everything kind of died down with the pandemic and things like that, we went right back to that news cycle of fear. And it's funny how I think people don't realize how powerful the media we ingest is. And again, I don't want to be, I'm not trying to go down a political, sphere with this at all. I'm not trying to go down any political direction with this. That's not my plight in this. But I want you to start to really understand, how your mind works and how the things that you ingest are shaping your thoughts every day. And shaping, just your well-being, from your financial situation to, just everything. Everything you are conducting yourself as or through on a day in, day out basis is being seen through a lens of what you are ingesting. Prime example, if you wake up every morning and you have a peaceful surrounding and a peaceful, serene environment, and you're entering your day with that, you are more likely to have that type of day than you would be to, wake up in the morning and just ingest a lot of negative things, whether that be from a TikTok post to, YouTube video, whatever it is, whatever you're ingesting. If it is a negative thing, if one negative thing after the other, you're more likely to carry that out into the world with you. And I just want us to be cognizant of that and really understand that we have the power to change that by simply not ingesting those things sometimes, by simply, shaping the environment of our thoughts. And what I mean by that is you can be caught up in an environment of your choosing or an environment of someone else's choosing, depending on where you are in life and what's happening with you. You may not be able to per se control the environment that you're in. Prime example, if you're still living with your parents, or you're still, in college, or you're still at a place in life where your financial means are dictating where you have to live or be. But the other side of that is you can control the environment of your thoughts. You can control what you're letting into your gates, what you're thinking about, and how you interact with those thoughts. And you can do that on a micro level every day and every moment. And if you start to do that, this is the great thing that I want to really talk about and bring to your understanding right now. If you don't have this understanding, I know a lot of people do have this understanding, but I want to talk about this because some people don't. If you can do that habitually, if you can create an environment for your thoughts, create a positive environment for your thoughts from moment to moment, you would be amazed at how far that goes into creating effective change in your life, changing your habits, changing your outcomes. It's such a powerful tool. And I want to share that with you because I think it is the tool that we need right now to navigate the changing world. I hope this has been extremely helpful for someone. And until we talk again, I wish you health, wealth, and freedom.